Hello, beautiful family. So I'm coming with you with another update on the energies. There's some very important activations that have started today, basically. So I want to speak a little bit about it, as well of some energies of January and why certain things are going the way they are. If you listen, or if you feel, or if you look at the Schumann graph, you can see that it's a lot more quiet than it's been yesterday. Yesterday, if you've seen the video, mom and dad have broken through the horde that they've been dealing with collective wise. Um, and at the same time, because they're hard, they're always working on multiple things at the same time, okay? um, uh, at the same time, they've been working on the brain, and so there's this important brain activation that has kind of like broken through, maybe in a sense, today. There's gonna be a lot of heart and brain balancing uh, going on. So if you're feeling different kinds of confusion or forgetfulness, or if you're having headaches, things like that, it is part of the activation that has been going on, that has started just recently. Um, so, my advice is just work on it, expand it, and imagine your brain reconnecting whatever it is that you have to do for your own healing. Um, so, yeah, if you're kind of like feeling a little bit off, maybe today, maybe tomorrow as well, it is because there's a lot of balancing going on, okay? We have been working a lot on the masculine feminine balancing, of clearing of those lower energies holding on to the right or the left heart, and now we are strongly going into the heart and the brain. The heart. You actually have a heart in your brain, so yeah, it is the heart and the heart and the brain and the brain and the heart and the brain. It's kind of both. um so yeah, the feelings like that are gonna come up. You just you know accept it, because it's gonna need some time to balance out. Meanwhile, work on activations and work on letting go of whatever it is that you still have to let go of. um Now, if you look at just like briefly into humanity, one of the first things that you can notice is that they really like to hold on to things that don't matter anymore, or like to pass stuff. So there's a big push to let go of that, and we have been in that push the last 2 weeks. That was also part of the whole transformation. So if you've been in some like repetitive cycles or some past things coming up, it's because of that. With January, with 2023, we have entered new levels of mastery. So whenever you go up the levels, new things are gonna be expected from you, or like new ways of service, new ways of expansion. Okay, you cannot stay the same as you were, of course, the level before. So it is all about the mastery. And after the fourth heart has been activated on the 6th of January, after that period of quietness, which is actually quite similar to the quietness that we are in now, only, well, I don't feel it's gonna be as long. Um, but yeah, you can kind of look at the galactics. There's lots of consoles going on. There's lots of maybe in 3D we would call that paperwork. Like there's stuff that they have to go through, prepare new things, and then the activation is gonna hit again. They're kind of like looking through and organizing everything. So that's why it's a bit more quiet. At the same time, we're getting some very important activations. You know, the activations don't just happen when the Schumann is blasting in like white or whatever color it is. There's some important activations that happen also when the Schumann is very quiet, okay? But it's a different kind of integration, and that's why the energy is different. But yeah, going back to the beginning of January, after that period of quietness, most of you probably felt like some kind of new push forward, okay? There was probably a lot of inspiration, like, you know, new ideas, maybe new doors opening up, new connections in whatever kind of sense. And we held that energy for roughly a week, and then after that, you know, it started hitting just like out of nowhere. um, and now after this, after we've been through the horror, you can kind of like say in a sense that feeling that you got at the beginning of January, that new path opening up, that's all that's, you know, being prepared for you. And the transformation that you went into after that is, of course, simply showing you what you still have to let go of in order to reach that mastery, or like to be able to hold that energy and to physically go through it, manifest it, all those like ideas that have come through at the beginning of January. um, so, you know, in simple simple terms, it is showing you where you still have to work on yourself to hold that mastery that is now required from you. And what I've been generally noticing is that, you know, people, for some reason, they don't want to let go of things. Okay, guys, remember, this is one of the first rules. Okay, or maybe the first would be don't take anything personally, but then, you know, this would be right after it. Don't attach to anything, whatever information it is, even if it's like vision or whatever it is. Do not hold attachment to it, because things can change in every moment. Okay, the creation is always flowing, it's always changing. So why are you holding on to anything? And at the same time, or like even more, why would you hold on to something that is not serving you? Okay, these are like the energies that we've been collectively kind of dealing with. um and I do notice that there's a lot of things that people hold on to without even realizing that they're holding on to them, because they're kind of like, in a sense, lying to themselves. And the emotions or the energies related to it mostly go into anger and resentment, okay, in some kind of way. Now, we hard emotions sometimes hide under other emotions, okay? So this is what I kind of like would advise you to look into. And a great question that you can ask yourself to work through that is simply, what is bothering you? Like, in, maybe in your work, maybe in your life, maybe about yourself, maybe about your friends, maybe about the world, whatever it is, what's bothering you? Like, what's kind of like provoking you, even though it might be just like a little tiny bit. Okay, look into it, because behind that, if you are fully honest with yourself, that little dot is gonna look a bit bigger. Okay, because as said, like, there are certain emotions that are hiding behind other emotions. So I've been, you know, kind of feeling lots of people saying like, oh, it's not that, it's something else, oh, I'm not holding on to that, it's because of, you know, whatever, blah 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 blah. As soon as you say it's not, it is, because welcome to the Lucifer experiment, it's opposite, and you are lying to yourself without even you know, you have to feel it in your heart, you have to be honest with yourself. And also a very important tip for your transformation, like generally, is just accept everything. Okay, whatever it is with the transformation, accept it. And especially now with the brain activation, a good thing that you can accept is that you're stupid and you're retarded. Because, well, shit, we all are. That's what they did in the, with the programming they did to our brain, with all the damage they did. They fucking made us stupid. We're not, we were created a lot more intelligent than we currently are, and we are going back to that. So the only way you can truly transform something is if you first, of course, look at it and then accept it. Like, it doesn't matter how stupid you are, just be like, yeah, I'm fucking dumb as fuck. Say it to yourself, and you're gonna see how much it's gonna help you. Now, of course, that doesn't mean that you are putting yourself down, because even though you see that and see that about yourself, you also know that you are a brilliant divine being of infinite intelligence. So, there's always balance, which means accepting both, because yeah, down here you are stupid, but at the same time there's all of that that's hidden in you, that you are about to bring out. So, acceptance and just let it go. um in regards to the traumas and the things that are gonna be coming up for, the collective or for beings, I am seeing also a lot of detachment from lower emotions, if you are willing to truly look at it from the purity of your soul, maybe so to say. But at the same time, if you're like holding on to something, okay, it's gonna pull you in a sense. Okay, it's gonna spin you so fucking hard, you're not gonna even know what's going on. Okay, and if that happens, well, if you can see it at the end and see the lesson in it and change it, well, all great. Um, why I'm saying this is because the energies are rising constantly, okay? We are being purified constantly, constantly, constantly. And if you're not keeping up your work for whatever bullshit reason that's part of the 3D, well, you're holding everything back. Not just, the whole plan, you're holding yourself back and not allowing the activations that are coming in. And always the energies kind of like have to kick us in the ass a little bit, okay, because it helps. Okay, it helps to push you forward. So again, don't take anything personally. They're just, they're kicking you in the ass, so what? So start running or something. Okay. um yeah, okay, there's, you see how, if you're getting lost in those days, it's also take it easy, because your brain is balancing with your heart. So that's what happened now. You see, I got completely blanked out. Okay. um it's gonna happen. Don't freak out. Just go back to your center and keep flowing with it. We've been having some very interesting experiences today, because usually, of course, we follow our feeling with things that we do during the day and things like that. But today, there were like several moments where it was just blank. It was like as if someone were like cutting scenes in a movie, kind of something like that. That's because of this balancing that's going on. It's not necessarily because you're in the mind. It might be, that's for you to know. But if you like feel you're in your heart, it's probably because of the balancing that's going on. So yeah, those are like the things that are to let go of, because with all those belief systems or old methods, or things maybe that happened in the past, and I'm speaking something like way past, way long past, um it's holding your expansion, which means it's like holding certain connections in your brain. It's blocking them. Okay. And you have to break through them in order for the whole activation to open up, okay? To really connect your brain to all of creation, to allow that to flow through constantly, because otherwise, you have blocks, and well, it doesn't flow, obviously. um so yeah, that's for that. And for the general energy, or like energy movement, what they gave to me, or like the words, is speed with control. Okay, so what this means is when the energy gets super high, okay, you kind of like usually get hyped up in some sense. Okay, don't forget about the focus, don't forget about the center, because otherwise you're kind of gonna be like all over the place. Okay, it's kind of like, you can imagine maybe a sprinter. Okay, they have to go real fast, but at the same time they have to keep complete focus to where they're going. They have to con- they have to keep complete control of their energies, of like this certain, straight push of the energies. So that's speed with control. Another example they gave to me is let's say a dancer or a ballerina. If you imagine a ballerina spinning, they can sometimes spin real fast, and if you've tried it, it feels a lot faster than it looks. Okay, but while you're spinning, you have to remain focused, you have to remain the center, because otherwise you're gonna get dizzy and you're gonna fall, you're gonna lose balance. Okay, so try or work on implementing that in your life when the energy gets very high. Okay, because you have to become not become one with energy, you have to allow the energy to come in, but at the same time you have to stabilize the energies. Okay, so this is something that I feel many of you are going to be practicing, or have been practicing already. So just keep on with it. Okay, as far as the brain activation that has happened just recently, um what okay, Richard, you are made of crystals. Okay, you are a crystal in a sense. And I'm sure all of you have had different visions of different crystals being activated in you, or maybe you received a crystal which represented an activation ethereally. There are crystals in your brain, and not only the third eye. There's a crystal in your right brain, and there's a crystal in your left brain. So this is what has been activating. This is what